YouTube ਚੈਨਲ ਲਰਨ ਵਿਦ ਹਰਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ-ਬਹੁਤ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ PSEB ਕਲਾਸ 12th ਜਨਰਲ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦਾ ਮਾਡਲ ਟੈਸਟ ਪੇਪਰ 3। ਆਓ ਫਟਾਫਟ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। 3 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ 80 ਅੰਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਖਿਆ ਤੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਰੀਡਿੰਗ ਕੰਪਰੀਹੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਪੈਨਿਨਸਿਲਿਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੈਸੇਜ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਪੌਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਸ ਪੈਸੇਜ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਨਸਰ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਨਸਰਸ। ਫਸਟ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ ਚੂਜ਼ ਦਾ ਕਰੈਕਟ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਆਨਸਰ ਹੈ penicillin could save the wounded soldiers। The second question, choose the correct statement. Penicillin is one of the most useful drugs invented by man. Third, who were interested in the discovery of penicillin in the beginning? This answer is scientists. This to बाद penicillin was helpful in war to save wounded soldiers. How many people knew about penicillin at the time of discovery? Very few people. Who encouraged the process of manufacture of penicillin? Ministers of government. Why did scientists and ministers of government encourage the process of manufacture of penicillin? Because it saved lives of soldiers. Why were vast factories set up? Vast factories were set up to prepare penicillin. How did most people benefit from penicillin? Most people benefited from penicillin because it saved lives of many soldiers and people. What kind of bacteria are destroyed by penicillin? Certain kinds of bacteria are destroyed by penicillin. ਤੇ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਪੈਸੇਜ, ਵਨ ਨਾਈਟ ਅ ਮੈਨ ਕੇਮ ਟੂ ਅਰ ਹਾਊਸ ਐਂਡ ਟੋਲਡ ਮੀ ਦੇਅਰ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਵਿਦ 8 ਚਿਲਡਰਨ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਵਾਲੇ ਪੈਸੇਜ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੌਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਪੈਸੇਜ ਦੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਨਸਰਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਆਓ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਨਸਰ। ਦ ਫੇਸਿਸ ਆਫ ਚਿਲਡਰਨ ਰਿਫਲੈਕਟਡ ਹੰਗਰ। ਦ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਆਫ ਮਦਰ ਸ਼ੋਜ਼ ਲਵ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵੇਅਰ ਡਿਡ ਦ ਮਦਰ ਗੋ ਆਫਟਰ ਡਿਵਾਈਡਿੰਗ ਦ ਰਾਈਸ ਐਂਡ ਵਾਈ? ਦ ਮਦਰ ਵੈਂਟ ਟੂ ਹਰ ਨੇਬਰਸ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ they were hungry. Why was the gentleman surprised? The gentleman was surprised because the mother knew that neighbors were hungry. Fill in the blank with a suitable word from the passage. The faces of little children were disfigured. इस तो बाद हम match the columns. Antonyms match करें opposites. Simple the opposite हो गया complicated. Generous the selfish. इस तो बाद ਪ੍ਰੈਸੀ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਸੀ ਵਾਲਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੇ 1/3 ਇੱਕ ਤਿਹਾਈ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਣਾ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਣਾ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਲੈਟਰ ਤੇ ਇਨਸੈਂਟਰੀ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਵਾਲਾ ਲੈਟਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਫਾਰਮੈਟ ਤੇ ਲੈਟਰ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੋਲਵ ਆਪ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਪੌਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਨੂੰ ਪੌਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਲੈਟਰ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਗਲਾ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ। ਤੇ ਲੈਟਰ ਜਾਂ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੇ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੌਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਗਲਾ ਇੱਕ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਫਾਰਮੈਟ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਵਰਡਿੰਗ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਠੀਕ ਲਿਖਣਾ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਦਿੱਕਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗੀ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫੁੱਲ ਮਾਰਕਸ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਨਿਊਜ਼ਪੇਪਰ ਹੈਡਲਾਈਨ। ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਦ ਫੋਲੋਇੰਗ ਨਿਊਜ਼ਪੇਪਰ ਹੈਡਲਾਈਨ ਇਨ 15-20 ਵਰਡਸ। ਇੰਡੀਆ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਹਾਕੀ ਮੈਚ ਐਂਡਸ ਇਨ ਦ ਡਰਾਅ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਲਿਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ। ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆਜ਼ ਫਸਟ ਮੈਚ ਇਨ ਦ ਹਾਕੀ ਵਰਲਡ ਲੀਗ ended in a draw as both teams scored a goal each. Daniel Bale scored the first goal for Australia in the 7th minute of the match. And Manpreet Singh scored the equalizer in the 65th minute. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਰਾਈਟ ਈਮੇਲ ਟੂ ਯਰ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਤੇ ਈਮੇਲ ਵੀ ਆਪ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਫਾਰਮੈਟ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਵੀ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਈਮੇਲ ਲਿਖਣੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਈਮੇਲ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ। ਆਈ ਐਮ ਅ ਪਲੇਅਰ, ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਖਿਡਾਰੀ ਹਾਂ। ਸ਼ੀ ਡਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਨਿਟ ਦ ਸਵੈਟਰ, ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਵੈਟਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੁਣਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸ਼ੀ ਵਿਲ ਡੈਫੀਨੇਟਲੀ ਡਿਸੀਵ ਯੂ, ਉਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਧੋਖਾ ਦੇਵੇਗੀ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਟੂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼। ਉਹ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਲਿਸਨਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਮੀ। ਮਹਿੰਗਾਈ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਇਨਫਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਜ਼ ਅਫੈਕਟਡ ਆਰ ਲਾਈਵਸ ਅ ਲੋਟ। ਉਸਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ 6 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਖਤਮ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਸ਼ੀ ਵਿਲ ਹੈਵ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਡ ਹਰ ਹੋਮਵਰਕ ਬਾਏ 6 o'clock. ਡੂ ਐਜ਼ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਡ। ਡਿਟਰਮੀਨਰ। ਮਿਸ ਲਿਨ ਸਪੀਕਸ ਚਾਈਨੀਜ਼। ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਡਿਟਰਮੀਨਰ ਆਊਗਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭਰੋਗੇ ਨੋ ਡਿਟਰਮੀਨਰ ਨੀਡਡ। ਵਟ ਇਜ਼ ਔਨ ਦ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਟੂਨਾਈਟ? ਸਿਧਾਰਥ ਵਾਜ਼ ਅ ਕਾਈਂਡ ਹਾਰਟਡ ਮੈਨ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜੈਰੰਟ। he is scared of traveling in the air. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ infinitive, let me try to do this sum. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ do as directed, rewrite the sentence after removing to. He is too composed to lose temper. He is so composed that he cannot lose temper. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ change the degree of comparison. Very few kings were as great as Ashoka. Ashoka was greater than many other kings. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ passive voice means ਕਿ change the voice. Parth plays the violin. The violin is played by Parth. He was not eating apples. Apples were not being eaten by him. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ indirect speech. I said to my friend, you are very hardworking. I told my friend that he was very hardworking. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ section C literature. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ objective questions. What was the narrator's profession? The narrator was a computer science teacher in a college. What did Philip want to become when he was a child? Philip wanted to become a musician as a child. What serve as little courtesies in our daily life? The words like please and thank you are little courtesies in our daily life. Name the writer of Two Gentlemen of Verona, A.J. Cronin. The cellular jail was set up in Port Blair. The author was sorry for some children of Miss Bean's school because they were handicapped. इस तो बाद हुकिन was the owner of the dog. they false है क्योंकि ये गलत स्टेटमेंट है. Name the country from which Datta had imported the frame. Germany. How many siblings did Polly have? 6. The name of Karam Singh's brother was Jaswant Singh. इस तो बाद stanza orated questions. He is your friend which you sow with love and leap with thanksgiving, and he is your board and your fireside. For you come to him with your hunger and you seek him for peace. Name the poem and the poet. Poem on friendship. Poet Khalil Gibran. What is the most important thing that one can give to friend? Love. How is your friend fireside? By showing sympathy, our friend acts as our fireside. Give the figure of speech in the line. He is your friend which you sow with love. The figure of speech and metaphor. इस तो बाद now I can see him getting off the train like a word chopped from a long sentence. He hurries across the length of a grey platform, crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Name the poem and the poet. Poem Father Returning Home. Poet Dilip Chitre. Figure of speech used in the lines. Now I can see him getting off the train like a word chopped from a long sentence. Simile. What does the poet's father do after crossing the railway line? This answer is he enters the lane in which his house is situated. इसके बाद do the sticky chappals of poet's father stands in the way of hurrying forward? No. इसके बाद central idea दो विचों एक the echoing green the road not taken. The echoing green the central idea which ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. The poem Echoing Green is written by William Blake. The poem deals with human life and nature. It shows a bond between man and nature. We forget our worries in the lap of nature. The poem also describes human life at different stages: childhood, old age, and death. As the old people watch the children play, they are reminded of their own childhood. After spending the fun-filled day, children return home at sunset and take rest in their mother's lap. Similarly, old people too go to lap of God after sunset of their lives. So, but the road not taken. The road not taken is written by Robert Frost. The poem gives a message that our life is defined by the choices or decisions we make in our life. The choices we make in our life are made forever. It is very difficult to retrace our steps and make a second choice. It is the ordinary people who follow beaten paths. Brave people choose their own paths. Is to the literature which are questions. Why did the parent-teacher meeting ended fruitlessly? Hassan's parents blamed each other for Hassan's irregularity in the class, so the parent-teacher meeting ended fruitlessly. So, what do you understand by the term lateral thinking? Lateral thinking is creative thinking. It is thinking differently or doing something different, doing something novel and unconventional. So, what was the wordless cry of the narrator's soul? This answer is the wordless cry of her soul was a strong desire to have light in the form of hope, and she got it in the person of her teacher and Mansfield Sullivan. So, what according to Dr. Bernard is the business of living? There is the answer that Dr. Bernard is of the opinion that business of living is a celebration of being alive. By the word celebration, he means to enjoy life in whatever form or shape we find in. So, how were the boys useful for narrator in many ways? The narrator and his friend had come to Verona as tourists. The two boys helped them in getting American chocolates, getting opera seats booked for them, and informing them about good restaurants. So, what is the educative value of blind, deaf, or lame day? There is the answer which जैसे लिख सकते हैं. On these days, students get an idea of discomfort of handicapped persons and they develop a feeling of sympathy towards such people. इसके बाद why did Ramlal's wife agreed to send Polly but not her other daughters to school? There is the answer which जैसे लिख सकते हैं. Ramlal's wife believed that if girls go to school, no one will marry them, but Polly had little chance of getting married because of her ugly face and lack of sense. So Ramlal's wife agreed to send Polly but not her other daughters to school. इसके बाद why did Chandu decided to go on strike the barbers trade union विचों? There is the answer which ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. Chandu was very badly treated by the upper caste people. In order to show his resentment and to teach a lesson to the upper caste people, Chandu decided to go on strike. इसके बाद answer the following in 60 to 70 words. What is the theme? Write the theme of the chapter on saying please. There is the answer which ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. The essay describes the value of good manners. Bad manners are not a legal crime. Even if a person is discourteous, law will protect him against physical violence. Words like please and thank you help us in making our passage through life smooth. Evil manners are infectious. They do more harm and cause more pain than physical pain. A good mannered person finds that his work becomes easier by ready cooperation he gets from others. इसके बाद draw a brief character sketch of two boys in the story. The two gentlemen of Verona, Nicola and Jacopo, were two brothers. Nicola was 13 and Jacopo was 12. Their widowed father died in war and they became homeless and orphans. Their sister Lucia was suffering from tuberculosis of spine. The boys had to work hard to pay the hospital expenses. They sold foods, polished shoes, hawked newspapers, and conducted tourists around the town. They did not care of their own comfort, but worked hard to earn money for the comfort of their sister. Though they were poor and homeless, they were truly two gentlemen of Verona. ਤੇ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ character sketch of Miss Bean. Miss Beam was a middle-aged, authoritative, kind and understanding lady. She runs a school with a purpose to instill empathy in her students. The students were not burdened with heavy academic studies. They were taught simple language and mathematical skills. Every child in her school had one blind day, one deaf day, one maimed day, and one dumb day. On these days, students get the idea of discomfort of handicapped persons and they develop a feeling of sympathy towards such people. So we can say that Miss Beam not only makes her students good citizens, but also good human beings. इस तो बाद है justify the title of the story The Bull Beneath the Earth. This is the answer which ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. The title of the story The Bull Beneath the Earth is appropriate. It is said that the entire earth rests upon the horns of a bull beneath the earth. The bull had the capacity to bear the burden of the entire earth. In the story, Karam Singh's father is compared to a bull. He is burdened by his personal sorrows due to untimely death of his son Karam Singh. He did not want to disclose the same to Man Singh. He thought that it would spoil his holiday, so he is compared to a bull who is supposed to carry the burden of the entire earth. This is about 5 marks for good handwriting.